what you need to say. Say what you need to say. It's better to say too much than never to say what you need to say. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. It's another Wednesday, another walk and talk. Thank you for tuning in today. I'm actually shooting this a little bit late today because I not only woke up late because I was busy working a lot of stuff last night. Remember in the last vlog where I showed you guys I shot some music videos for my buddy J Mack and some of his other artists in Macworld Music? Well, I finished 2 of them, and I'll give you the information on where you can see those at the end of this video because I think they look awesome. So if you guys want to check out my, I guess, music video directorial debut, check out the links in the description. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the first video response question for the week. Let's go. Okay, so my video response question this week comes from Zevo's second channel, Zevo2, and he asked,
have you ever met anyone famous, and if yes, did their personality in real life match up with what you expected? And if no, who's a famous person that you'd like to see and you think you'd have a reasonable chance of seeing them someday?
Alright, so to answer that, yes, I have met someone famous before. George Carlin, actually, before he passed away. He did a show here in Pensacola at the Seanger Theater, and I couldn't go to it because I had to work. And at this time, I was working at the Crown Plaza Hotel as a dishwasher in the restaurant. I had no idea that George Carlin was actually staying at the hotel. I just knew he was in town. I didn't know he was at our hotel. So the day after his show, I was getting some dishes from front desk from the people that work up there, and he comes down and he's checking out. And I look over and he's standing there with a baseball hat and sunglasses, and I'm like, you're George Carlin. And he's like, last time I checked. And I'm like, dude, I really love your comedic style. And you know, I just threw a whole bunch of praise his way, and he was like, well, did you see the show? And I'm like, no, I missed it. And it saddens me because with the last thing he told me before he shook my hand and left to his ride was, well, you'll definitely have to stop by next time I'm in town. Unfortunately, he never was able to come back because he died shortly after that. I think a couple months after that, actually. But he was just as nice as I thought he would be. He's really, really cool. Even though I only spoke to him briefly, it was actually what I would have expected just by, you know, seeing his stand-up and stuff. He was really, really mellow, really, really cool. I feel bad that he passed away, but from my standpoint, he lived a really good life. He made a lot of good points doing what he did, and still one of my favorite comedians. But anyway, Zevo, thank you for the question, and we're gonna go ahead and move on to the comment questions, so let's go. I think the first one came from Alright Jess, but it was actually directed to Tiffany. So Jess, I will have her answer that question in the next vlog or in the next walk and talk if she's with me. But yeah, I'll make sure to get her to answer that whenever she's around. She's actually at work right now. So technically the first comment question for this week comes from Master Jugalotus, and he asked me, do I believe in astrology? Well, I like the idea of it, but I don't think the stars really have anything to do with, you know, your life. They might give some sense of meaning when, you know, explained in connection to your zodiac sign and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. I'm really indifferent about that kind of question because, I mean, there's just so many things in the world that we have yet to understand. There may be, you know, things that affect us when it comes to the planets and alignments and things like that. I mean, I can't say there isn't, I can't say there is, but I like the idea of it, that there's something bigger out there that affects us in some sort of way. So I guess, you know, yes and no when it comes to astrology. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next question, which comes from the DC's 2907. And looking at this question, I'm pretty sure Joe wrote this. The question was, if I asked you to help me build a car, what kind of car would it be? And what kind of motor would be in it? Well, I'm sorry, Joe, I totally forgot to look up the kind of motor I'd want in this car, but I already know the kind of car I wanted to build. It's a classic muscle car, 1967 Shelby Ford Mustang. I've always wanted to build up a classic muscle car from the ground up, and I've always said, you know, when I get older and I get a house, I want to do a car project. And I mean, I don't know cars that well, like I barely know how to work under the hood, but I figure this will at least give me a good experience to try and know a car inside out. Having Joe would definitely be a bonus if he could help me, so yeah. That's what it would be, a classic Mustang. And we're gonna go ahead and go to the next question, and it comes from J-Mack, and he asked, if you won the lottery, name 3 things you would most like to buy. Number 1 would be a brand new house for me and Tiffany, just because we need a house. Number 2 would be a brand new computer system, like a full-on 3-monitor computer system that I can edit all my stuff on. And the third thing would be a new car for Tiffany, just because her current one is really beat up, so I'd definitely get her a new car. But those are the 3 things I'd definitely buy. And I'm sorry if you couldn't hear me, guys. I'll probably put subtitles or something. The wind was really loud right there. Anyways, next question comes from MZB1993, my friend Mike, and he asked me what is my opinion on the game Minecraft. I actually was following this game a little bit. This game really took off in a short amount of time. Honestly, I haven't spent too much time on it. I did download it and I played with it a little bit, but I haven't spent a lot of time in it. But from what I've played, it's actually very entertaining. I love the concept. The multiplayer feature definitely adds to it. I personally think it's a good game concept. I really enjoy it. I can see why so many people are addicted to it. And the different combinations of things that you can build and stuff in the game it's just amazing. So I actually like it. I think I should get on it a little bit more, but I've just been so busy lately. But thanks, Mike, for the question. And we move on to the last question, which comes from Alyssa Scott 08, and she asked, where did me and Tiff get married and where did we have our honeymoon? And then if I had any pictures that I could post. Me and Tiffany got married in Texas. I flew out there so we could have the ceremony with her and her family, and we did it in a courthouse, so it was technically a civil wedding. I plan to have a church wedding with her in the future and just make it, you know, her dream wedding. That'll come eventually, but it was just a regular civil wedding, nothing big or fancy. And the honeymoon was a couple days later, well, 2 days later, because we had to pack all of her stuff into her Explorer, and we drove that Explorer from Texas, like the middle of Texas, all the way to Pensacola, Florida. Almost 2 full days of driving, and the entire first day of driving, we didn't even get out of Texas. That's how big of a state Texas is. The half of the trip was just getting out of Texas. And on the way, New Orleans, Louisiana was one of the stops. So I'm like, you know what? Go ahead and get a nice hotel room in New Orleans. She's never been there before. We'll stay there. We'll walk around the French Quarter, and that's where we eventually had our honeymoon. So the second day of driving, instead of going straight to Pensacola, we stopped in New Orleans. I already had a hotel room reserved, so we went there. I forgot the hotel that we were in, but I think I have some footage of the room. I wasn't vlogging back then, so I don't think I got any video of New Orleans, but I did happen to take some pictures, and I'll probably put them up here somewhere on the screen for you guys. So yeah, that pretty much finishes the questions this week. Let's go ahead and get to the outro information. I just want to thank all of you guys for joining me for yet another walk and talk. Thank you for everyone who submitted questions, and Zevo for submitting that video response, and ooh, a hole. But anyways, here's your common question for the week. Name one memorable place that you went to that you will always cherish and remember the rest of your life. So was it a childhood place like a tree house? Was it a trip? You know, name one place that means a lot to you and you will always remember for the rest of your life. And of course, you can leave your answers as comments or video responses. Just please, guys, don't forget your questions for next week's Walk and Talk. Leave them down there with your answers or in a video response as well if you want to be fancy. At the end of this video, please check out the links. There will be the 2 music videos that I finished for J Mack and his friends. One is for Miss Anna and one is for Lady Shai. Both very talented women. I'm going to upload them on J Mack's channel since, you know, that's the Macworld Music channel. Please go over there, subscribe, watch the video, and please, I want to see your comments on the videos. I want to see your feedback. If you think I did a good job, I really want to know what you guys think. It's my music video debut. It's the first music video I shot and edited, so kind of means a lot to me. And on top of that, the latest Top Gaming News Weekly episode is already online. I'll put a link to that at the end of this video as well. And that's about it, you guys. So I want to go ahead and remind you that you, all of you, are the best friends and subscribers in the entire world. And as always, keep on vlogging.